That's the name of my boat, Buckets.
Buckets. What we get.
Not the only transfer we got from Florida. Keith Stone, too. Remember that.
Everybody who watches his show on a regular basis knows my love of the stretch four.
You know, we all make mistakes. He might have made one going to
It's
Tallahassee.
mercy if y'all don't know. Dribble to the left, cross over to the right. Hurricane to the game, many buckets for the night. Matt with the pick and roll, Melissa with the give and go. This Shelly-U, hoodie girl dunking in the hole. Check the scoreboard, this what we fall for. Peep the gameplay, they want an encore. Yeah, overtime for another round. It's buckets out the buckets, baby. You out of time. It's buckets. What it is, homie, it's buckets. Woo! We get buckets. Yeah, baby, buckets.
I have no shame.
I know. That's the problem.
You guys are awesome.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Buckets. I'm joined by my partner, the Dynamic Duo edition, right, Melissa?
Yes, those that have heard of Keystone are on the show right now.
We have no supervision. Also, I'm so white. The lighting is terrible in here. I look so white. I just realized it.
No, Vish is actually producing from the background, but he's still actively doing the football show and cussing at us in the chat right now. So Vish will be joining us once the football show ends. Thankfully, we're able to cover a win. Although for a lot of that game, from about the 5-minute mark of the first half on, I was kind of doubting it. The Canes did beat FIU. I should know the final score since it just
86-80.
but I don't. 86-80. We were up at least 17 in the first half, and FIU got to within 2 at halftime, and then took, I believe they got up to like an 11-point lead at some point in the second half before
it might have even been 12.
12. Double-digit lead at some point. They started the second half on a 9-0 run. I think it was like a 20-something to 3 run if you include the first end of the first half. Just really sloppy, lazy play by us in the second half, the second part of the first half and into the second half. I think what really stood out is they had 20-plus second chance points, FIU. A lot of that off of offensive rebounding. Norchad's absence on the floor is quite noticeable when it comes to the boards.
Yeah, no, and I thought too, they missed a lot of their shots to start, but I felt like, you know, once they started getting those offensive rebounds, they would kick out to shooters. And I mean, there's nothing, the easiest shot you can get as a shooter is off of an offensive rebound, right? Because the defense is all collapsed, and they had probably like 4 or 5 threes just off of offensive rebounds. We lost the turnover battle too. That doesn't happen a lot, you know, when you have more guards than Shawshank. We had 4 more turnovers in them. You reference the second chance points. You lose the offensive rebound battle. They had like 16. We had 7. But I mean, you found a way to win. To me, I mean, I'll get your take on this too. It kind of felt like the way we came out and whatnot, that we were kind of looking past this game.
Yeah.
The lack of focus.
There's a lot coming up on the schedule. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be in the Bahamas soon. I'm sure they're stoked about that.
But we're going to be playing a lot better teams.
We're going to be playing a lot better teams. And, you know, last game against UCF, you saw, I want to say they had a decent amount of offensive rebound. Oh, no, sorry. We turned the ball over a decent amount, right? Because they were really scrappy. But we didn't give up as many offensive rebounds. And when you give up this many offensive rebounds and you turn the ball over this much, like, you have to play a really good game and be super efficient in your other possessions to win, right? And I mean, you see how we shot. We shot like over 60% from 3, I think, right? We were 13 for 21. And then we shot 59% from the field. So when you
my friend Clay is in the chat and knows nothing about basketball, and he's just here because he saw my tweet.
I'm just here for Hoodie Girl.
What's up to Bryce, who actually follows basketball? but hi Clay. But yeah, no, and I think we shot more efficiently in the first half of the first half, and then we were just the
Well,
second half of those first 20 minutes were terrible for us. I mean,
well, and
was
like
it
there
like
was, I was gonna
go
say
ahead.
we had like a 7-minute stretch where I don't even
Yeah.
think we took that many shots because it was turn the ball over or whatever, you know what I mean? And I want to say, because I mean, we weren't forcing turnovers. There was a 7-minute stretch where we were just in the half court and the offense just looked terrible. Like no one was
Yep.
initiating. It
It's like
wasn't until Matt Cleveland,
nothing.
right, was like, okay, I'm gonna put the team on my back, drilled the three, started to attack the basket, was more, we need that in the half court. His slashing ability is a huge plus for us in the
Yeah.
half court. So
I think
um
I think he made a 3 to tie it. And I tweeted out on the Buckets Twitter, which by the way, we do have a Buckets account now. It's at Buckets_Canes. So make sure you're following us on Twitter or
oh,
X or
great
whatever you
idea.
want to
Put
call
it
it.
up there.
I think he tied it with a 3, and I said something about I tweeted out, and Vish kind of got mad. He was like, I said, Cleveland knows like how to like make buckets and Watts go, or I tweeted something to that caliber, and Vish was like, that was too soon. Because I mean, he is clutch at Watsco.
Well, yeah, I thought he was really good defensively too. That's kind of like where me and Vish were kind of like sus of like
Mm-hmm.
how good he was. I thought he was a good on-ball defender. I wasn't sure off-ball, but he's definitely shown, strides and how he's been playing. He didn't have a steal or a block or anything, but I thought he played really well. He was physical, got a lot of rebounds for us when Norchad was out. And then he had the only second chance points that we had in the entire game. He had an offensive rebound towards the end. I can't remember exactly when it was, but
Yeah, we were terrible on the boards. And mainly because Norchad again was in foul trouble. Some of the fouls they called though, that Bensley Joseph foul on that 3-pointer was not
yeah,
a
that was
foul, and
not a
even the
foul.
announcers, I didn't get that. I thought Bensley again on defense played really great. They were going at Nigel and that the latter minutes of that second half.
Yeah.
I mean, we got lucky because Dean, their starting point guard, was out with an injury, and he was kind of the igniter to their offense a little bit. So that gave us a chance to pull away because he was making everything and was a facilitator. He's a really good ball player on FIU.
Yeah. And I think too, I mean, I just thought of this too. I had forgotten that FIU already played UCF. I could totally see a situation where, guys in Miami are looking like, hey, we just took care of UCF. UCF took care of FIU. I think, you know what I mean? We can walk through this game,
Yeah,
but
it's
was
it's
not.
easy to look past it. What was hilarious, somebody tweeted out that when we were losing to FIU at one point, they were like, "Oh, Manny Diaz, wherever he is in America, is too close to Miami right now," because our football team lost to FIU a few years ago when Manny Diaz was the coach, and
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, "That's terrible." But shout out to all of y'all that have followed our new Buckets account. I think we gained about 30 followers during this game.
Just like today, right?
Yeah, and that was help. There's a Twitter account that does Canes basketball called like Hurricane Hardwood, or I
Oh
should
yeah,
they
it's Hurricane
they
Hardwood.
retweeted one of our tweets and told people to follow us, and so I think that had something to do with it too. So shout out to them as well for
there's
getting
not
that
enough
follow
people
count.
covering Canes hoops,
Basketball. No. All right, Canes today in the chat. I think I saw Bill. Bill's in the chat. What's up, Bill?
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah, I got to the point in the second half where I never sat down. I was sitting the whole time. I was standing from about the 10-minute mark on, and then I switched hoodies because I felt like my hoodie was bad luck. So I put this hoodie on, and then
I was at work, and then I worked late today, and I was driving home when the run was kind of happening, and I was just like cursing myself, and I had my windows down, and some lady looked at me like, what is this dude's problem?
There was one guy I was talking to on Twitter where he was like, I turned it off because I'm too nervous, and then we made a run to get back into it, so now I'm not going to turn it back on, and I just have it on Gamecast.
Yeah.
But I literally did the same thing when we were down versus Texas. I was driving home from Orlando, but I got back to my apartment with like 4 minutes left, and I was just standing in my living room, and I was too nervous to turn the TV on. So I just stood there like with a blank TV getting updates from people because I was too nervous to turn it on. So I just stood in the same exact spot and watched the game.
Oh my god. I gotta shout out Bryce.
Yeah, what's up, Bryce?
Well, we can't pin the comment because only Vish can do that, but he said as ugly as this
Yeah.
game was for Miami, we needed it basically because it gives us an idea of how the team deals with adversity. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Bill,
it's true.
Bill says,
These
Matt, you need to
quit.
Sorry, Bill says Matt needs to quit letting work interfere with watching hoops. Bill, Matt lives on the other coast in the fake time zone, as Vish likes to call it. So
Yeah,
it was
no,
like 4:00 in the afternoon when the game started there.
I know. I'm thinking of telling him like, hey, sorry guys. I try to plan it so I get off I get off earlier. Like I'll go in early.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I gotta tell him, hey, sorry guys, gotta peace out.
Especially on nights that I'm at work. I need you on the Buckets account live tweeting.
Yeah,
so
I know.
we got to make sure. At one point, both of us were live tweeting, and I didn't realize it until I saw a notification that somebody liked a tweet. I'm like, I never wrote that. And I was like, that has to be Matt, because Vish has said he's like not going to deal with anything that to do with the social media aspect.
Yeah,
which is fine because he does all the other technical stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't want to deal with it, but he just judges us for what we post.
Right.
But
yeah, go ahead. Sorry to finish your
no,
point.
I mean, at the end of the day, like it's early part of the season. Teams are still building that chemistry and camaraderie, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have, some younger guys on the team and whatnot. But there's teams that are losing these games. You know what I mean? Like there's ranked teams losing to, mid-major schools or, lower power conference schools. And, you get the win. That's all that really matters this early, right? If you have a game like this later in the season, then that's not
bad.
good. But yeah.
But it's important that we get this win, especially because like usually when you start the season, you play kind of a lot of mid-majors, like lesser teams. But we're kind of full force now because our next games is the Bahamas tournament. That's Georgia, Providence, and Kansas State. Like this is a big jump. And then we have Thanksgiving, and then we go play at Kentucky. So there's no we can't come out like this against these teams coming up. Like this, get it out of your system, because if we played like this against Georgia, we probably lose. Georgia's a better team. I mean, they're not great, but they're a better team.
I looked at the advanced rankings, the Ken Palm rankings, and we dropped. And I was like, why did I even look at these? I knew we were going to drop after only winning by 6.
I mean, if you all saw our private chat to start the game, me and Matt were pissed that we were only like up 14 at one point, because we were like, we should be scoring on it. And then like it all went like, I think the last parts of that chat was me just cussing.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it was we were scoring in transition. We were forcing these turnovers or, bad misses, and we were getting out in transition, and then they started to make some shots, and then it's completely different ball game too, right? You have to play more in the half court and whatnot. But yeah, no. And you got to test, man. Georgia is, they're probably not one of the best teams in the SEC this year, but the SEC is probably one of the best conferences in college basketball this season.
Matt will be running the Buckets Twitter account this weekend, as I have to work this weekend. So you'll get a lot more breakdown on that account, whereas I just tweet my feelings for most of the game. I think I did give a little bit breakdowns, but Matt's like kind of like the intimate knowledge of the game. That's his thing. He's a nerd of the game.
Thank you.
That's a compliment, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'm a Ken Pomeroy then, because Bill just called him a nerd. So
no, but like you're a nerd in a good way.
I'm a cool nerd, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like I posted a selfie of me standing in front of my TV, and I wonder if people noticed all of my Star Wars memorabilia underneath. I was waiting for the nerd comments.
Yeah.
It's not it's not that we don't have a bench, David. It's just that we have a very young bench. And that was a big disadvantage of FIU staying in this game the entire time, is that we didn't get our bench. And Nwoko played a lot of minutes out of necessity because he's big. AJ Casey, actually would have liked to see him get more minutes. He kind of provided a little bit of energy for us in the second half when we started on a run. You didn't see much of Keyshawn.
No.
So Coach Ellis pretty much showed that he's going to rely on his starters in close games. And we did what we had to do to get a win. I need Nwoko to develop faster. If there's anything out of all of this, is that teams are going to go at Norchad. He's going to get in foul trouble, and we can't have what we had tonight with the lack of rebounding and all those second chance points. Like Nwoko, I need him to develop. And at one point, I even tweeted out, I'm like, do we go with two bigs here? Like, why not have AJ and Nwoko on the floor at the same time if you're worried about rebounding? Just my opinion, but I don't know what you think about that.
No, I mean, I thought Nwoko has flashes, right? Especially, I would say defensively, right? I think that's where he can have more of an effect like this season. I think it's just kind of understanding where to be on the floor, right? Because I think there's sometimes that I don't want to say gets lost, but maybe we'll give up, offensive rebound, whatnot. But, he's quick for his size. He's athletic. You saw the block tonight that he had. That's when I tweeted out he's a grown man. But
I think that was the tweet I realized you were also tweeting.
But he just has to adjust to playing college basketball, I feel like.
Yeah.
And, I think he's definitely someone that towards the end of the season, he's going to have a much different effect, See? Exactly.
Number 21 Villanova. Yeah. Sometimes, I know it's not March, but sometimes just survive and then advance to the next game, but survive.
And that's this early, like anyone, college basketball, anyone can beat anyone, right?
Yeah.
You look at who made it to the Final Four of FAU, like, you know what I mean?
FAU,
anyone
San
can beat
Diego
anyone.
State,
Yeah.
Miami, and UConn. People were bitching about that Final Four, saying it wasn't interesting, and I was just like, do you really want to see the same teams every year? Like, I thought that was UConn dominated everybody, but
yeah. And then you see Fairleigh Dickinson beat, or no, what was that school name?
FDU. Is it Fairleigh Dickinson?
Is it Fairleigh Dickinson?
FDU. I think it's Fairleigh Dickinson. It's FDU.
It is?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways,
well, Kane's Cats Heat, we can't pin your comment, first of all, because Vish is producing this from the background, so I'm sorry. But he says, no, they can't. FIU can't beat us. They just lost to a D2 school 2 days ago. Unacceptable. Don't make excuses.
We're not making excuses. We're just saying
we're not making excuses.
Happen to anyone.
Listen, you look back in 2012, 2013, when we double dipped the ACC, made the Sweet 16. You go back to earlier in that year, we lost to Florida Gulf Coast. We lost to Indiana State. So losses can happen at any time. The good thing is we found a way to come back and we won, and there's a lot to build on. Are we happy with this win? I'm happy we got the win, but it was mad ugly. There's a lot to work on, and our weaknesses got exposed big time. So
there's definitely a lot to work on.
We get FIU is a terrible team, but you never know. In the last few years, we've seen 16 seeds beat 1 seeds. I know they made a tournament, but they're playing in a lot less of competition in their divisions. So it's sometimes, really good teams just have to find a way to win, even when they're having a bad night. And luckily we found a way to win. But no, there's a lot to clean up. I'm not to speak for Matt, but I'm nowhere satisfied with that win. That I didn't expect to be stressed out tonight.
But yeah, no, gotta polish up a lot of things going up against Georgia. So it's Friday night, right? Is that when the game is? Is it? Because that would
I believe so. Friday.
I
thought you were referring to today, and I was like, no, it's Monday, unfortunately.
No.
But now that we've totally destroyed the team, let's talk about some good things. Talk about a player that stood out to you.
I think there's only one good thing. That was
Matthew Cleveland.
Game. Besides winning the game, I would say Matthew Cleveland. Yeah. I feel like this is Do we allow phone calls? Unfortunately,
No,
not.
we don't have.
Um,
We don't have that kind of setup. That would be funny.
No.
That would actually be really cool. But no, this isn't a coop call-in. We don't have that kind of technology. But yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk about Matthew Cleveland.
Yeah, no, I think that's the one good thing that came out of this game. We had talked in the chat that I was saying, Matthew Cleveland needs to be more aggressive. I feel like he's being too unselfish. He's the new guy, doesn't want to disrupt anything, but I feel like he realized perfect timing. Start of the second half, came out way more aggressive. How many points did he have in the second half? Probably like a majority of his, right?
Where's Vish when you
Any way
need
we
him?
can
Because he
check that?
live Googles.
He had 13 points in the second half.
Yeah, he went 3 for 3 or 4 for 4 from 3. 3 for 3 or 4 for 4.
3 for 3 from 3, 2 for 2 from free throws, and then
I
had
think
some
7 of
assists
8.
and
7 of 8 field goals total.
I
think he only missed one shot.
No, he didn't miss a shot in the second half.
No, but total. I think he only missed one.
Total?
Also, Wooga is making me so nervous. He took some really hard fouls. And I like his aggressiveness, but holy crap. Like in the first half, he hit some like 2 really hard falls. And I was like, bro, like we don't need this.
Well, it's like Jack McClellan said, anytime you take off on one foot, you just leave yourself more susceptible to falling with any contact, right?
Yeah. One of his threes hit the rim and I was shocked.
Yeah. Oh my God, man. I will say that too. Canes today was talking about Bensley Joseph offensively. He's definitely a lot more confident offensively. You kind of see him, shooting the 3, and then he had a couple mid-range shots, I want to say too. It was either 1 or 2 of them. He looks more comfortable, initiating for himself. They're really helping off and trying to stop Nigel Pack as much as they can. So he's going to have a lot of space, to go one-on-one and take someone. So it's nice to see that, have him building that confidence, but yeah, got a lot to work on. Yeah.
Nigel, he missed a few free throws down the stretch on the front end of 1-on-1s.
Yeah. I think one was,
got to work on that.
He had 2 free throws. One was the
I think he missed the second of a 1-on-1 or the second of 2.
Yeah.
Matthew Cleveland, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 for 3 on 3-pointers. I mean, first of all, Matt Cleveland's mid-range game in the first half was like beautiful. Like, hey, what's up, Vish? I think I even tweeted it out. I'm like, I'm really enjoying Matthew Cleveland's mid-range game. But he really has done all of the little things. And tonight he was a scorer. But yeah, no, I was really glad to see him take a little bit more action in the second half, because Matt did say that he was passing too much and he had some shots. And right now he's our MVP this season.
So you're done talking about Fairleigh Dickinson. You start talking about our game now. Like, what is wrong with you two? I leave you guys alone.
Are you serious? You guys talk about the most random shit. You guys go on tangents all the time.
I'm sorry. What is the ghost in the machine over here? Like, Jesus.
Oh, you get a ring light and I can't afford it, and now you're making fun of me.
First of all, you didn't say
now he just looks as pale as I do on a regular basis. So he's just trying to stand in solidarity with his pale co-host.
I think I do look less white now. Maybe the orange works. Anyway, what did I miss? Actually, I know what I missed. I was listening the whole time while you made Keith Stone jokes and made fun of me and think I couldn't hear you.
No, we knew you could hear us.
We also give you a shout out for everything you do for the show.
I heard that too, but I'm conveniently ignoring. I'm conveniently ignoring where you gave me an excuse for like refusing too lazy to get on the Twitter.
But you cussed at us twice in the private chat.
I mean, that's how I talk to all my friends. Anyway, I'm not going to repeat stuff that was already said, but yeah, it wasn't great. I would say the effort was ass on the defensive end, and that's what led to the rebounding too. A lot of it was
on offense too.
Yeah, but especially defensively, like we were lazy defensively, so that's why like a lot of their offensive rebounds were off of missed threes, but we weren't even really contesting the threes. Like they could shoot for anything. They scored 80 points without really missing a bunch of open shots too. There was very little effort. Disappointing.
I credit the win to me switching hoodies.
I did see you did a hoodie switch. I was like watching the game and doing sixth grade, and I saw the hoodie switch, and then we did go on a big run there. But then again, there was like 4 minutes left, and we had the game in control, and we let them back in it again. Nigel missed a free throw. Like,
Yeah, it was
one of them days.
I mean,
one of them days.
it was ugly. We're fortunate that we got the win. We were trying to talk about good things during this game, and me and Matt pretty much concluded that Matthew Cleveland was the good thing about this game.
I'll tell you the thing that saved us is just the 3-point shooting.
Yeah, we were like 60. What?
We were
62%.
Yeah.
It is very rare that you can shoot 62% from 3, 59% from the field, and almost lose to a horrible team. I mean,
yeah,
that's how bad the defense was. Like, we almost lost.
Well, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I did say in the offseason when we heard about the scrimmage numbers that I was really concerned about our defense. So just throwing that out there.
I mean, it's the effort that pisses me off. Like, you can't.
Jeff.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have done if we were still losing. Like 6 rings started. I was not in a good place as it was. The first part of that show was just me going like, and then me going like this.
I gotta go back and watch because you were live reacting while talking football.
I mean, the game was still going, but yeah, no. I mean, I think we did some of this last year too. We talked previously about the Cornell game. It felt very much like that. Like,
yeah,
kind of screwed up. The game should be over, and then oh my god, it's close, and
yeah,
ends up being a very high scoring game because we didn't play defense.
Yeah. If you missed it, Villanova lost to Penn.
Oh no, I heard your discussion, and then that's
I wasn't sure. Yeah.
We start talking about Fairleigh Dickinson.
Yeah, to Jeff and Canes Cats Heat's point, last year we were top 10 in the nation in kill shots, 10-0 runs. Basketball is a game of runs, and I said it. I was like, we need to go on another run, but the key is we need to have the last run. Because
I don't even think
we had a big run, they had a big run, and then it went back and forth.
It's this is what happened, and this is what I'm seeing. It was like 7 minutes. Was it the last 7 minutes of the first half? I want to say, or 6 minutes. It was like watching our half court offense. Like, it was terrible.
It reminded me of Frank Haith.
We weren't getting in transition. No one really looked like they were.
Let's not use the H word here.
No one was looking to initiate anything. Yeah, it was stagnant. You were just kind of swinging the ball to swing the ball. There's a couple, like, they tried to get to the basket, but they were really awkward drives. But it just did not look good.
It's too much ISO.
Well,
and not getting the ball, more ball movement.
Well, it was, again, I think we got really lazy. Like, generating a good shot takes work, and we were just not. We were kind of going through the motions. Again, our bench is not good, so Norchad getting into foul trouble. Although I think he kind of was checked out this game for whatever reason. Anyway, didn't really appear to have the energy. But if we have to go to the bench, it's a massive drop off. It's a massive drop off. Like, the bench players are just not terrible. I will say Cleveland came in and kind of helped swing the game back in our favor because Nwoko was kind of lost out there. And,
you mean Casey?
Sorry, what did I say? Cleveland.
Casey,
yeah. Well, Cleveland works too. You can't really clip that and make fun of me because Cleveland.
AJ Casey came in and provided a lot of energy. We talked about this a little bit earlier. I actually would love to see some more minutes from him. And me and Matt were saying it's like I would have loved to see, because I felt like we were getting dominated on the boards with Norchad out in foul trouble. Why not have Nwoko and AJ Casey in there?
I think we were.
I don't know if that's something they consider, but
I think we were still trying to dictate offensive pace there, and I think it kind of worked. Again, we're not going to be good if we don't effort defensively and hustle for rebounds, because we're definitely not going to be bigger and just be able to box people out. It's got to be they out hustled us to all those.
Yeah.
A lot of them were 50-50 balls.
The 50-50 balls were not 50-50. It was like 95-5.
Yeah, and that's we just didn't. I hate to say it, we didn't really try.
Canes today said that we don't have a guy that can get you a bucket off the bounce. I disagree with that. I think we do.
I think we have more than one.
Yeah. If Matthew Cleveland can keep hitting those mid-range jumpers and that 3-ball like he did in this game, and as he's been doing, he's going to get a lot of opportunities to take the ball to the hole, because people are going to have to guard him. And he's super athletic. So I mean, if he keeps shooting like that, he's going to create a lot of offense, and I'm hoping it's going to lead to maybe a little dump offs to Norchad or Nwoko for easy dunks because they're going to have to come guard him. That's
He's a
just what I
mismatch.
noticed. He's
a mismatch.
He's a mismatch.
And I would say him, Wooga, and Nigel can all
Yeah.
create shots. I don't really think it's an issue there. It's
You saw Bensley tonight,
Man, you
though,
give-
too. He had a few, too.
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, I
It's
think
good to
if we
see-
get into a tight end of game situation, the ball's going to be in Nigel's hands. I mean, that's the reality.
Yeah.
of
What's
it.
up, Jackson? It's good to see Nigel hit some threes. They give him a little bit of space, man, and he shoots from like half court. It's so insane. He needs to make his free throws. But
Oh, I was gonna say too. I really liked what Jack Clinton said in terms of like adjusting for Nigel where he gets his open looks, right? Because obviously Isaiah Wong isn't on the team anymore, but
mhm.
trying to get open threes in transition off different screens, maybe off ball more. But I think you saw that the threes he had, a lot of them were kind of off of transition, where they kind of lost him or he kind of moved to the open spot. So I think, moving forward, it's something that he can make the adjustment and get some more open looks.
Our 3-point shooting is going to take a leap this year. We've seen Bensley's 3-point shooting get better. Wooga's been amazing. Nigel can shoot out the gym. Cleveland has a shot. Norchad's working on his 3-point game. I mean, it's cliche, but we're going to live and die by the three.
We do kind of remind me of that Villanova team that blew out our Angel Rodriguez team and won the championship. Just like a lot of shooting, one big.
Anyone want to take
No
a guess
defense.
at where we are in college basketball in terms of 3-point percentage?
I'm probably number one. We haven't missed anything.
Out of
Well,
300,
when you've
what is
got
it,
Wooga.
363 teams or something?
Wooga missed the 3 today. It might have dropped us to second. I don't know.
I'll go with 1, even though I'm guessing it's probably like somewhere in the top 5. But I'll go 1.
Your second part was right. We're number 4.
Well, we got
shooting 50%. 50%.
I mean,
yeah.
so
To
we
the
gotta move
chat.
up
To
those
the
ways.
chat's point,
14,
where most people are
14
talking about.
turnovers is
People
the
are talking
answer
about
to the question.
turnovers. I think the issue with the turnovers is that we're trying to run the ball too much and get out on the fast break. Some of those 50-50 balls that have ended up on the floor that FIU's gotten easy buckets off of is because we have multiple players running down the court to start the fast break before we've secured the ball. That was that 3-pointer to end the half for FIU, and then another one that FIU got that I think tied it again or something happened. They're really eager to run and start the fast break, but we need to secure the ball and we can't force it when it's not there. Like obviously we're an athletic team, we're small, we like to run, but most of those turnovers were just stupid turnovers. It needs to be fixed. There's nothing wrong with setting up a half court offense. Like we don't have to run the ball out in transition every single time.
Shout out to my guy Tony.
Oh, he says my boy.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Is it boy or
and
guy?
he's a Miami Marlins fan. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, this is gonna happen. We're small.
We're always gonna get killed on the
but
boards, yeah.
well, we don't have to get killed. We're probably gonna lose them. We don't. Again, there was just very little effort. It was. I mean, we actually so I will not quote the group chat that we have, like the two of you, but I mean, we talked about this 3 minutes in. Like, we're not playing well. We're not playing with energy. We just kept making threes. So that was really the only thing. That's the reason we won, but it was actually the only reason we built that lead in the first place. We just were hitting a bunch of threes, and like everything else, we were doing poorly. We weren't rebounding. We weren't really playing defense. They were getting open looks left and right, and we kind of built the lead by hitting threes, and then we started. That's when the turnover started. And if you don't get the threes up, you're not gonna make them, and they kind of cut the lead down, and it got sloppy from us. But
that and FIU had like 3 or 4 chances of possession to get points.
Yep. And the only thing we really did well was shoot the 3-point ball. Everything else was sloppy and lazy, and we're gonna have to team rebound. That means even the guards, like crashing the boards and Satchel, to Melissa's point, a little bit too much of I'm gonna get out on the break, and a little bit too little of secure the ball, secure the rebound. Let's just go down the court.
If you go back and watch, multiple times you see 3 guys running back already before we've even secured the ball, and FIU, easy baskets. Like it was so frustrating. I'm like, secure the ball first. Like you'll have a chance for points. You don't have to keep running it out. I was getting really frustrated.
Well, I think because look, they're college students. This is going to happen, but I think we expect perfection, and it's not going to happen. And from an energy and effort standpoint, we just didn't have it today.
Nope. We're lucky we won.
I mean, we're lucky they suck, which I guess is also a corollary to why we don't have energy. If you're playing Kentucky today, we obviously would not have had that effort, right? I mean, but we're lucky they're not good. That we were able to flip a switch and run off 19 points in a row pretty easily. And then we lost focus again and let them back in the game again and again and again. But no, they went up by 12. We just scored 19 points in a row because they're not good. Like, you're not going to get away with that against a better team, but also we're not going to have that lack of effort and energy against a better team. It is what it is. I mean, they lost to some school I've never heard of in their last game.
Who did they lose to?
Tarleton.
What the hell is Tarleton?
Tarleton's pretty good, man.
Canes, today it's always apple juice. I do not drink alcohol on the show.
I mean, I almost was, but
also this would be really flat beer if this was beer.
Kentucky fell. Did Kentucky lose to someone? I wasn't even paying attention to them.
I don't know.
Anyway, we got Georgia first. So let's do it. Georgia and then
either
Providence
K-State
or K-State, who are all way better than the team that just took us down to the end there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so let's talk about a little bit about the bench and how you guys would kind of. I don't think you talked about this yet, but what would you do rotation wise at this point? Keyshawn looks lost out there.
Keyshawn looks like he doesn't know when to be aggressive offensively. Like, he takes the most random shot. He took that little. No, he's not. Like, he looks to be aggressive in random situations where he shouldn't really be aggressive. He takes bad shots. At least the few shots that he's taken. He just doesn't look comfortable out there.
And that's what I mean by lost. Doesn't look like he knows what he's doing, and that's probably a wrong way to put it. He's confident but not comfortable, if that makes sense. So he's so he's not deer in the headlights frozen. He's just I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna play my game, and it's not really fitting in with anything else.
I mean, you see the potential, right? You see the potential, but I just think he needs experience. These are the type of games you'd like to see him play in, but obviously, it was closer than we thought.
This was it for warm-up games.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much.
I think we have a random game against LIU somewhere.
Yeah, we have a game against LIU. That's after. Yeah. Is it after Notre Dame?
Yeah. No, our next games are
towards the end of December.
Our next games are Georgia and then K-State or Providence in the Bahamas. Then week off. Then at Kentucky, Notre Dame, and then I think
Colorado.
LIU. Yeah. Oh yeah, Colorado. Going to that. Colorado.
Yeah. We only just booked that a week ago.
Yeah, Colorado and then LIU's in there somewhere, but that's really the only other.
It's after Notre Dame.
It's in between Colorado. Okay.
Yeah.
So Bryce is talking about playing more Chris Watson.
Chris Watson. I mean, offensively, you don't see a whole lot from him. I think he can kind of spot up and shoot. But I think defensively, off the bench, he's probably one of our better players. I really like him defensively. He's pretty active and can guard multiple positions. But man, it's gonna take some time
just to talk about kind of the minutes. Nwoko by far had the most with 13. That's primarily because Norchad got into foul trouble. AJ Casey was second most with 8, primarily because Nwoko was not very effective, and we made that move and then kind of stabilized. And then Watson had 6 minutes, and Keyshawn had 4. And Keyshawn and Nwoko kind of been the first guys off the bench and have at different spots gotten pulled because they're not.
I have a feeling that I mean, Keyshawn came in for defensive purposes towards the end of the game for like a possession.
Yeah, he was in there for like 30 seconds.
But I think that Coach L kind of had a word with him about those shots that he took.
AJ Casey was plus 13 highest on the team.
I told you in the second half he came in and he provided some energy, which is good to see. Second year in the program, but I think this is going to be one of those years like of the Elite Eight run where our starters are going to be in the game.
Well, one of them cannot stay out of foul trouble. So, and I mean, I frankly would rather Casey get the first call off the bench at this point. I think he's doing a better job just overall connecting with the rest of the team. Because Nwoka I didn't think was bad today, but man, he's not clearing the boards at all. And a lot of that rebounding. I mean, it's on Norchad though to stay out of foul trouble. Like he's got to do a better job of that.
Yeah.
And these fouls are not, again, it's a low energy game. Like some of these fouls are like he's not moving his feet on defense. And he's sticking his arms up like at an angle, and anytime the guy jumps, it's going to be a foul now.
Well, then he got frustrated on that offensive one where he extended his arm out.
Yeah, and it's just I think, So I think but he's got to definitely be better than Norchad with that team worst -5. So it wasn't all with him. It wasn't, we want to say if he was just out of foul trouble, it would have been fine, but we were worse with him on the court than it was off of that.
Yeah.
Which kind of, again, plus minus can be very misleading.
Yeah, but the rebound plus minus was probably a lot higher with him.
Yeah, I know. He had 11 boards. So he managed to get double-digit boards in limited minutes, and we played 24 minutes, but yeah, no, it was brutal. Our bench is really we gotta hope someone young. Well, it's young, but again, asking like sophomores, which is what Chris Watson, Jakai, AJ Casey are, to come in and give you some meaningful minutes is not too big of an ask. And we just need them to be better. We're not asking them to carry the load. We're asking them to not come in there and implode the team. And mixed results so far. Again, we're getting away with it because the level of competition is going to get much harder. And we do need something off the bench. Because even, Melissa, you mentioned the Elite Eight team. We were definitely shallower on the bench, but we were bringing Bensley and Wooga in. And they weren't the Bensley and Wooga we have now, but there were times where they were functional and hit shots. And especially Bensley, I know, hit some big threes that year in some of our conference games. And there's plenty of time for some of these players to develop into that. Okay, this guy, hit a couple of shots, he'll be good defensively, and we can survive 5 to 10 minutes with them on the court over the course of a game. And that's all we need them to get to. And there's time for that to happen. But right now it's not happening, which is, again, kind of expected getting the season.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned how Bensley and Wooga came off the bench as freshmen in that Elite Eight year. I remember going into last season being like, oh man, Wooga's going to be our second starter, our fifth starter. Like, how is that going to work? Like, he barely played, blah, blah, blah. And then even then last year, he was a bit inconsistent. But I think I said this in our group text that I don't know that I've seen a bigger jump in a player from one year to the next than what I've seen from Wooga so far. I mean, obviously we're going to start playing some harder competition, but I mean, he's really made quite the jump. He's going to be really fun to watch this year.
Yeah, no, and he hit big shots today, and it's a game where you shouldn't have needed big shots, but we did, and he hit them. We still haven't seen
him and Matthew Cleveland.
Yeah, Matthew Cleveland was just awesome. We still haven't seen Nigel play his game, so
he was getting abused on the defensive end towards the end there. FIU was really taking it to him.
Well, this is where we got to play better team defense too, because look, this isn't last year. He's playing next to Bensley. Like, one of the two of them is going to have a bigger, stronger guard that they're going to have to cover. That's going to be a mismatch. Someone has to help. We need to do a better job rotating. There again, we checked out defense. We gave up 80 points to FIU. Like, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
We gave up over 100 to Cornell last year, so
there was one
FIU.
There was multiple possessions that were like this, but there was one in particular that I'm thinking of they got like 3 or 4 straight offensive rebounds, and they passed it out to the wing, and the dude missed the first 2 threes and then made the third one. I don't know if you
Yep.
remember that one, and no one closed
Yep.
him out the last 2 times he shot it. I was just like, oh my god.
No, it was
Like,
the lack of
I remember on the made shot, I was like, "Is you just gonna let him shoot? Like, just like wide
Yeah,
open, like just like we're chilling in practice? Like, what the hell?"
I mean, there were multiple times where it clearly felt like our team's like the game is over, and it wasn't. First time in the first half, but then again after we went on that big run, they obviously FIU went up 12, which is like insane. But we went up and then pushed the lead out, and it kept growing, and then we let up again. They cut the lead all the way back down to 2. And then we pushed it out again. It looked like it was about done. And then they made another run the last 4 minutes. And, they're a shot or 2 away from, a 1-possession game again. It's just, there was some, got to do better,
Yeah.
just better overall effort.
I mean, if you watch this stream, you would have thought we lost. Like we're the 3 of us are just like, what in the world
I don't look. It's better than losing, obviously, but I think we've got. See, one of the things that happens when you play FIU, it's obviously a school that we're familiar with. It's local. They're one of the worst basketball teams in the country by far. Like, this was awful.
And they lost their best player of last season.
This is 20
points a game.
This is a team that might win like 4 games, 4 or 5 games this year.
They lost to a D2 school.
Yeah, no, they're terrible. And I know this is their Super Bowl and they get up for it, but there was kind of no excuse for what happened today. And like, they're a bad team, and we were a couple of bounces away from losing to them, and that seriously would have impacted tournament seeding multiple lines. Like, it would have been by far, like, you put the resumes up there, like, well, that loss is way worse than, well, that yeah, I mean, that it was by an order of magnitude, because that's how bad FIU is. So it's very important we didn't lose. But I mean, we don't need to pretend like it was good. I mean, we shot well from 3 and it saved us, basically. But this is absolutely.
I mean, some of the guys did some good things. Yeah. This
is absolutely not the case.
Me and Matt were discussing this before. I mean, technically anyone can beat anyone. We've seen some crazy upsets in the last few years with 1 seeds losing to 16 seeds. But FIU is a terrible team.
Yeah, not only are they terrible, but first of all, tournament pressure is a little bit different. If Purdue had hosted Farley Dickinson in November, they would have beaten them by 60. So I think there's these different, we're playing at home, and they're that bad. So I don't. Yeah, theoretically the score starts 0-0 and anyone can beat anyone. But like, if the football team loses to Bethune-Cookman, we wouldn't be talking about, well, anyone can beat anyone. But like, what the F just happened? This was the equivalent.
Team lost MTSU last year.
MTSU is not Bethune-Cookman, and FIU is Bethune-Cookman bad. This is what I'm trying to explain to you people. Like, this is not a functional basketball program.
Well, luckily we won.
Did you see their coach? You almost lost to that guy.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell's going on here?
Oh man.
Oh man.
Let's just talk about Matthew Cleveland and how great he played. We'll just focus on that.
Well, I mean, I think several players played well offensively, got their shots. Like, Wooga was really good. We talked about.
He had some bad turnovers though too.
Bensley too. We got bailed out by some good shot making by several players, but yeah, I know I was at that game. That was fun times. See that coming in the first quarter. I turned to my friend. I was like, "There's gonna be a fight in this game." I didn't think the whole like bench is clearing and helmet swinging, but
I was in the student section.
I had like our neighbors were like boosters, and they gave like, back in like the Orange Bowl where like there was that few rows of like green seats with the chair backs. So they're like, "We're not going. You want our seats?" So we were like sitting right at the 50, and those chair backs are like perfect view. And you could see that whole game that like they were taking cheap shots and the rest weren't calling. And I'm like, there's going to be a fight. I didn't think bench clearing brawl, helmet swinging, 30-minute delay while they try to suspend half the team. But like, I was like, there's going to be a fight at some point, because the refs don't call personal fouls when they're, taking cheap shots after every play. Eventually, one of the players is going to get fed up. I was like, there's going to be a brawl. There's going to be a fight at some point. And then 2 quarters later, after we finally went 2 scores, it kicked off.
Canes today spurring the first tangent. I thought
will
Matt was
say-
Lakers Kendama.
I will say, come on, this is Miami-FIU history. This is first of all, you have two teams based in Miami, so I know it's ratchet to begin with, and once it kicked off there. Although I'm pretty confident Kane State was not alive when this happened, so I don't know that he's the authority on it.
He's 15, so no, I don't think he was.
Anyway,
If he was an infant.
Well, back on topic. So we've actually shot the 3-ball really well, as Matt said. We're number 4 in the country in 3.
Yeah, number 4, 50%.
What happens when we shoot like a normal team?
We lose.
Like
at the rate from what I've seen so far, we lose. We shoot a lot of threes.
We do,
but I think we shoot a lot of threes though too, because I mean, right now defensively, teams are like completely overhelping on Nigel. Like some of these shots are like completely wide open looks that we would have not gotten.
Yeah,
and we're hitting them now.
Well, I mean, we have good shooters.
We have really good shooters.
I guess the other part of that though is if we started missing, if we weren't building these leads, do you think we'd be a little bit more locked in defensively, knowing where? I mean, when you're just dropping bombs on people, it's a lot easier to get lazy defensively than it is if you're like, all right, it's a tight game early and you're possession to possession.
Mm-hmm. Jeff, Pack, and Joseph are playing a lot of minutes together because we don't trust our bench. The starters are playing most of the minutes.
Yeah,
it would be more, but Norchad's getting in foul trouble.
Yeah, just outside Norchad, Nigel 36, we'll get 36, Bensley 38, Cleveland 35. Those are the minutes.
Imagine if Wong had stayed.
I mean, then who? Bensley's coming off the bench then, obviously, but
yeah. Matt, do you have anything to add? I know you got to get out of here.
Oh, we are past time that you were supposed to get out of here.
Yeah, me and Vish are going to talk some women's basketball after this.
I'm about to go to a women's basketball game.
Oh, you're
are you playing or you're coaching?
No, I'm watching my sister-in-law's sister-in-law's first high school game this season.
What year is she in?
She's junior, so she's on varsity.
Starting or coming off the bench?
Yeah, she's starting. She's not gonna. Her coach already told her that she's not gonna sit. She's gonna play the entire game.
Well, tell her to drop some buckets like her brother-in-law and shoot like 9 for 9 from 3.
We're working on the offensive confidence, but she's like a lockdown defender. But
she's like a Bensley Joseph.
Yeah.
We'll tell her to mirror Lamaya Hilton and work on that 3-point shot, and then she can be a lockdown defender and then surprise us by dropping bombs on everyone.
Yeah.
Right.
No, absolutely.
All right. Tell her the buckets team says good luck.
I will.
Do they need a shirt sponsor?
A shirt sponsor?
Buckets Canes with their logo
on their jersey.
Yeah, can we get a buckets?
Just have the @buckets _Canes patch on there.
Man, screw it. We got the logo. We got a badass logo. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
The logo with the patch and maybe buckets _ Canes written on it.
That'd be sick.
Good stuff. All right, Matt. See you later.
Right. See you guys.
All right. Anything else to talk men's before we quickly do a women's breakdown from the game?
Just
yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday, and we never really even talked about the opener. So I think we're gonna kind of talk about overall just the 2-game performance. Just real quick on the men again. I think everyone knows this, but 3:30 on Friday, they take on Georgia and the Bahamas, and the women actually play at 5:00 at home on Friday, which is annoying.
I will be at work.
And I will be annoyed that the 2 games are at the same time because I would have gone to that women's game, but I'm not going to miss the end of the men's game. So, damn it.
Oh, are you going to be in Miami?
I will be in Miami. I'm coming in Thursday night.
Oh, that's right. You're coming for Louisville.
Well, I'm staying for like 10 days. So, because through Thanksgiving.
Oh, because of Thanksgiving. Yeah.
So I will be around.
If anybody in the chat watched the women's game, let us know because the women's game was a lot of fun yesterday. Once I got the app to work, thanks to Gary. Gary helped me troubleshoot my.
I
ESPN
saw this
app.
back and forth, and I'm like, I mean, I was at the Ravens game, so I was like not really tweeting that much other than retweeting buckets. But I saw this back and forth, and I'm like, what alternate universe? This is a Chick-fil-A commercial now.
Canes today watched it at school lunch. Oh my God. Canes today making us feel old on a whole nother level.
Hold on. You're talking about the first game, I think. Because there's no way this boy was at school yesterday, right? The first game, remember, it was the 11 a.m. tip. It was the kids' day.
That was the first one. No, yesterday. The other one was yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the first one anymore.
It was Jacksonville. It was the 11 a.m.
Did I miss it? Oh, I missed part of it because I was sleeping for work.
It was the middle of it. It was like at 11 a.m. randomly. So
yeah. I missed it. I didn't see that one because I had to sleep for work. And then by the time I had a chance to rewatch it, there was another game yesterday, so I just watched that one. Women's tickets are like $5.
Yeah, I know. They're literally $5.
So the main thing that stood out to me between the first two games is that it was different starting lineups, both games.
Yeah,
me and Bish were like, we were so sure of what the starting lineup was going to be, and it wasn't even close either game.
Yeah, no, it was different lineups. I would say. All right, so the switch was between the first and second game was Lazaria started, which was based off of her dominating the first game. Like we were actually sluggish early against Jacksonville. She came and just took the game over. In our chat.
But then Kyla had a really good second game. So I mean,
well, I think in our buckets group chat. After the first game, you're like, "Oh, Zari didn't start." I was like, "She's gonna be after this game because like I told her she's gonna run some lineups early to get her right lineup." And I think it's still a work in progress because then
I think she's testing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? All right. So let me just ask.
Are we going with the 4-guard lineup?
Well,
it seems like it.
Do you think? I think she likes Lamaya coming off the bench.
Well, no, but it's like you haven't I thought Spearman and Kyla were going to both start.
That's what I thought too. But obviously that didn't happen. So.
And Cheyenne Day Wilson has not started.
Yeah, she's been coming. She's been dropping dimes though. So.
Yeah.
So she's not deterred by it. But yeah, no, that one. I was sure she was a bang on 100% starter. Like, there's no way you're not starting like former ACC freshman of the year, but there it is. Yes,
Jeff, I think they're better than last year.
I think so too. Yeah, we're actually ranked in women's too. So,
did they rank us? Oh,
we were
I didn't
ranked
see
before the season even started. I mean, I'm assuming we didn't drop. We were 25 when the season started.
Oh, that's right. We were. Forgot about that. We were ranked. I was like,
only show that covers the women's team, and we didn't. I'm just kidding.
Well, because usually they show it on the score graphic at the bottom of the screen, and it didn't show it. So it slipped my mind. ACC preseason predictions, projections. We actually we 6. We did like a whole pod about it too. So if you want to go back and watch kind of our breakdown of that, you can. Canes, Cats, Heat. But they have us projected to finish 6th in the ACC.
Which is by far the toughest conference if you don't follow
the ACC is absolutely ridiculous. Loaded. If you look at it, Virginia Tech made the Final Four last year. I could keep going. I'm trying to think who's above us. Duke.
No, Duke is behind us.
Duke is 7th.
Yeah,
Virginia Tech,
Louisville's 5th. I think it's
5th. Yeah.
It is. It's Virginia Tech, and then I think I
can't remember off the top of my head.
God, this is like North Carolina is definitely up there. They're really good. Is State might be up there too.
Florida State?
No. Oh yeah, Florida State's in front of us, but I think NC State too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Florida State. That's the first thing I think of.
I'm sorry, I've been spending too much time in North Carolina. They call NC State
Carolina,
State.
Yeah.
And North Carolina, they call Carolina.
Today, we are very happy that LSU lost.
Yeah, no, I was Schadenfreude there. Like, haha, F you guys. And then by the way, I did notice this, and I sent this in our group chat as well, but about a few months ago, I guess, the ACC uploaded the full Louisville NCAA tournament game from 2 years ago where we were down 59-44 and scored 17 points in a row. Destiny Harden scored.
They put it on YouTube?
It's on YouTube, the full thing. I sent this out in the chat.
Yeah, I forgot. I'm gonna go watch that.
The whole game broadcast. So I have watched like the last 5 minutes of that game like 50 times. I'm annoyed.
That game is so insane.
God, I was like, we lost to Florida State. Screw this. I'm gonna watch Destiny roast these motherfuckers again.
Right?
Oh man, the best is though she hit the winner over Van Leth, who grabs her face like this. Which is why I brought it up, because you mentioned LSU.
Oh man, good stuff.
But
no, let's talk about yesterday's game because Lamaya Hilton went off.
Well, this is the thing.
The whole offseason they're talking about her defense.
She shot really well against Jacksonville too.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my question to you is: so you mentioned it, we kind of referenced this, but the big shift in starting was Lazaria started yesterday against Fordham, and Kyla started against Jacksonville. What do you think? And Lamaya is probably a key part of this. Do you think she gets into the starting lineup? I think Coach Meyer, just the way she talks about her, likes bringing her in off the bench with defensive energy and shooting.
I don't think it matters at this point. I mean, you could take anybody who's come off the bench in the last 2 games and say, oh, you could easily be a starter. I mean, Coach Meyer wasn't lying when she says she easily has 10 people that can start.
I mean, Stedman's not starting.
Stedman is off to a slow start, but she's going to start hitting those shots.
No, she's going to shoot, but I think she's perfect for off the bench. Come in with the second unit and drop bombs on people. I don't know that she makes sense as a starter with this team right now. She's starter quality, but I would be shocked if we really see
I think who's started both games so far? It's been Williams and Jasmine, obviously.
Yeah, and then Lachey and Jada Patrick.
Lachey and Jada Patrick, which isn't anything close to what we thought was going to be the starting lineup. Like I think we both said it was going to be. I think we both said it was going to be Cheyenne Day, Wilson, Jalea, Jasmine, Spearman, and Kyla.
Yeah.
So we only got
which, by the way, you might still see at some point. Like it's not because Coach Meyer.
You could. I mean, Coach Meyer is just messing with the lineups, but no, Lamaya like her shooting. And I think it was 5 threes, wasn't it?
Was
it 4 or 5?
She was 5 of 8.
5, yeah, 5 for 5 from 3.
We
are a basketball school.
8. I got 5.
I thought it was. Is it 4 for 4 from 3 or 5 from 5?
I've got 5 of 8 on the box score here in front of me.
Oh, 5 of 8 from 3. Sorry, I didn't mean 5 of 5, but I think she had 5 threes.
She did 5
which
of 8,
which is a career high for her. 2 games in.
Yeah, and a team high 17 points.
I don't know. Did you watch the post-game presser?
I watched after the first game, not the second.
The second one, so it was Coach Meyer, Lamaya, and Kyla. And I posted a screenshot of Kyla's face because Coach Meyer turns to her and is like, oh, you were plus 35 when you were on the court. And Kyla just looks at her with her eyes like wide open, like shocked. And it was such a funny reaction. I was laughing. And someone asked her, one of the press asked her like, oh, like, why do you think you were so successful this game or something? And she's like, oh, because I did my job. And everyone starts laughing and they're like, can you expand on that a little more? And Coach Meyer just starts cracking up. It's like an 8-minute presser. It's so hilarious. I was laughing.
Yeah, but they did.
And then apparently Lamaya apparently got like attacked in the locker room. I guess everyone's celebrating, like spraying water at her and stuff because she shows up to the presser and you can tell she's wet.
Yeah, in the first game she was 6 of 10 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, and tied for the team lead with 14 points as well. So she's hit the ground running.
What a weapon to have on your bench. Somebody who they've been talking about her defense all offseason. And so you bring in that defensive prowess off the bench, but then she can shoot like she's shooting. Man, what was Arizona thinking?
I don't know. It is. That's why we thought, again. So if you're new to the show or watching women's basketball, it is very difficult. I mean, we try, but usually generally unsuccessfully to cover women's recruiting. Like, there's not a lot of information. Yeah. So, but Lamaya Helton was a big time recruit. Went to Arizona, didn't really play last year and transferred. So we weren't really sure. We knew she was supposed to be really good, but then if Arizona didn't play her,
there wasn't enough to see.
Right.
And I think I even said it a few weeks ago when we were talking about rotation that I wasn't expecting much.
Right. No. And
so I apologize, Miss Hilton. Like, whew.
Wow, broke out the Miss Hilton. Yeah.
I apologize to Matthew Cleveland on Twitter last week.
Yeah, but then you're dropping jokes about our program losing at the buzzer too soon.
It was funny.
It was too soon, is what it was, man. You weren't there.
I watched it though.
So yeah, but just so for again, we weren't sure exactly what we were getting. We knew she was supposed to be really talented coming out of high school, but again, it's not like you get a bunch of film you can like look at and see from high school women's basketball. It's just not there for us to view.
Yeah.
Obviously, like coaches that are doing recruiting, scout, and all that. But unlike with men's basketball or football, where there's like a million highlight tapes and kind of look at stuff, there's not really that there. She didn't play a lot at Arizona, but now you can see, after 2 games here, clearly, why she was that highly rated. She's the real deal.
But and you love to see it because it sounds like she just wasn't, and this isn't any offense to Arizona's basketball squad and team and coaches, but it just seems like maybe she just wasn't in the right situation there. And like even when she was talking about like post game about it, just saying how much she like feels at home and like she gets confidence from the coaches, from her teammates, and that it's just really easy because of the situation that she's in. It's and a lot of people hate on the transfer portal because it gives they're like, oh, loyalty and blah blah blah. But this is a situation where this literally has changed this girl's life by being able to transfer and play this, like transfer from last season to this season and be able to play this year, like two games in, like what a difference. Like she barely got to play Arizona and she is a key piece to why we've won the last 2 games coming off the bench. And she's only a sophomore. Just throwing that out there.
Her, Lazaria, Kyla, sophomores.
Jasmine, junior. Jalea Williams is also a junior.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shea Dwyer is also a junior.
Do we have any seniors besides Jada?
Nope.
Who's also, by the way, hit both pre like after practice half court shots. I don't know if you follow the women's Instagram.
Oh no, but they advertise it everywhere. Yeah, no, they do it by class. Yep.
She's won it the last 2 times. Pretty shot from half court, man. Just a little like woof.
Yeah, we're Canada heavy over here.
Oh yep, Canadian. No wonder why she wanted to play it. She wanted the hot weather coming from Canada. She just found a better hot weather.
She went to Arizona first. She's just like, well, I'm not going back up north. Yeah. That's for damn sure.
Hurricanes are better than Wildcats,
I suppose. I guess the only other thing. So, do you think? I mean, would you make any change? Like, what would you do lineup wise? Because obviously, Lazaria had a really big first game, got the start, and now Kyla, I feel had a better game than Lazaria did yesterday. Switch it back? Like, what are we doing?
I honestly, especially with them, I really don't think it matters who's starting and who's coming off the bench. Coach Meyer is just going to go with whoever's playing better. And then you have that luxury because both of them are really great players.
Do you think we see them
play together? Only sophomores. Well, that's what we thought.
We thought that's the starting lineup. I don't think they have.
Well, with Lattimore, I guess still coming back from injury, maybe she doesn't want to have them both on the floor at the same time because that's your front court depth right there. Is just the 2 of them. I don't think we need to do it right now. I guess maybe if we play a bigger team, we haven't gotten
into a situation. Where there
we haven't. And then even then, I think we can still play small ball with the amount of shooters we have on this team.
Yeah, but
I didn't see Lamaya Hilton breaking out like she is. Like that. That's just another weapon, and she's so great defensively too. I mean, that's
the one that's
she's like Bensley Joseph this year. Bensley Joseph's worked on his shooting, and he's an elite defender. She's already doing both.
Yeah, no, the one that surprised me as a starter who struggled against Jacksonville but played great against Fordham was Jada Patrick. She didn't play well at all in the first game. And I thought we might see her get benched because, again, we have so many options. But Coach Meyer kept her in the starting lineup yesterday, and she played really well. So Yeah, I don't know. We're playing a little bit. We are playing like a 4-guard starting lineup here,
We are.
which I did not anticipate happening. So we'll see if we stick with it.
I'm curious as to if it's a depth situation. If you got Spearman, Kyla, and Natasha all healthy, maybe you start both of them, two of the three of them. I'm not sure.
If you're gonna do
But
that,
Spearman
is
and
it back?
Kyla have both, yeah, but they both showed they can play well. So
Yeah, I think the other thing though is just I mean, I think Coach Meyer pretty clear if you listen to her talk and kind of in our discussions with her. This is a defense first team, so she's putting her defense. I think that's why Day Wilson isn't starting. Not that she's bad defensively, but you know, Lachey and Julie are two of the better.
Interesting stat.
Defenders.
Since you didn't watch the press conference, Coach Meyer challenged the team to not let who did we play?
Fordham.
Sorry, wow, brain fart. Challenged the team to not allow Fordham to take any free throws. I guess their previous game they had shot a lot of free throws, and Fordham did not
I can
get
see
to
that
the line one time.
Yeah, zero.
And a lot of that, and Coach Meyer gave credit to a lot of that is on Kyla because she played a lot down low and she held up the paint. It's actually a really cool stat, you know, to not like just play defense so well where you don't let them get to the line at all. That's actually really cool. I don't know that you don't see that very often.
Yeah, we only had 12 fouls total.
And when you're playing defense that hard, that takes a lot of focus.
Four of those fouls were Lamaya. She gets after it. That's what Coach Meyer said. She's gonna come off the bench and just get after it.
Yeah.
I don't think she'll be starting at all this year. I don't
think she's gonna start this year, but she's gonna play a lot of minutes.
Yeah, no, she's gonna come in and I think that's where Coach Meyer likes her because she's been shooting really well and showing off kind of her full game, but she's a defense.
First, also, I'm pretty sure her fourth foul was like in the latter seconds of the end of the game, so didn't really matter.
No, nothing mattered. It was it's a 39-point win. So I don't think any of that mattered.
And also, Spearman's 2 fouls in the first half were such bullshit calls. I still if you go back and watch her 2 fouls, she's literally boxing out. It's like fundamental basketball, and they called fouls on her. I was screaming at my TV.
On the I mean,
have a good night, Jeff.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, so the women also play Friday. That's their next game. They're playing Southern on campus, 5 p.m. Oh, God, it's against the men's game, which is really annoying. I wish they had put the women's game at a different time. I don't know why they're playing at 5 p.m. They could have played at like 7. Could have gotten out to
I'm gonna miss both. I'll be at work, so I don't know if Matt's gonna get on the Twitter to tweet during the men's game or not, because he's gonna be at work. So
we'll figure it out.
I'll try to retweet a couple of the Canes Hoops tweets. So
we'll figure it out. If I have to do it, we'll figure it out. Be tweeting men's and women's at the same time for the last half hour.
That's rough.
And then after this Friday, the women don't play again until next week. They always host that Thanksgiving weekend tournament.
I think we're going to one of those games.
I mean, are you working? I thought you were working.
No, I don't work Thanksgiving.
This is the day after, which I think
it's a Friday?
I think not working, but I don't think you would be.
Oh, no, I'm at my mom's.
Yep. That's at 4 p.m. Friday, and then the last game is Sunday at 1:30.
Sunday, I am available.
Maybe we'll do that one.
Yeah. Do you all go by X or Twitter? I think I've referred to it as both at some point.
I will not call it X. It's a stupid name. And
follow us on Twitter/X at buckets_canes. That is the official account of the Buckets podcast.
It's scrolling on the bottom too. So we've
We've gained about 30 followers tonight with my live anguish tweeting.
Your live anguish. I mean, the hoodie switch up was clutch.
I'm telling you, even a Florida State fan, my guy, Seminole Old School, was like, "Man, you know it's serious if you're switching hoodies." He understands me.
I mean, I've given up on. We've lost in every outfit I've owned in every sports at this point.
I started the Twitter page at like 4:00 in the morning the other night after we had just discussed whether or not we wanted to do it. We were unsure, and I couldn't sleep, so I'm like, I'm just gonna start the page.
Yeah, woke my ass up by texting it to me. Anyway,
you don't put your phone on Do Not Disturb?
I can't if I get a call from work. Anyway, I hear everything.
Oh my bad. I won't text in the group chat.
I don't give a shit.
Just put the group chat on Do Not Disturb.
It doesn't matter. I can wake up and go back to sleep like immediately. I'm used to this. This is my life.
Okay.
Just like running 2 streams at the same time. I'm on 2 calls at work all the time. What's the difference? I guess the last thing for the women is, so after that Thanksgiving tournament, they head to Mississippi State for the SEC ACC challenge. Then
which you'll be at.
Yes, which I'll be at. Then NJIT at home that weekend, and then
how do we have NJIT on both schedules?
I don't know, but then rematch with DePaul. After last year,
they blew us out last year.
Beat the crap out of us last year, so we got that coming, and then
massively beat the crap out of us last year.
And then Baylor,
really bad.
On
a neutral site.
Yeah, which I will also be at that one. So,
man, I wish I could go to all of these games with you, Vish. I really do. Work doesn't allow me to, and also there's bills that I have to pay.
I feel like I'm like tired just thinking about all of this.
Yeah, but we're gonna win all the games, so that'll be worth it. And then in December we'll be at Barclays together, and so hopefully we'll get to witness a basketball win together.
Yeah, we'll stop. We play like we did tonight, but yeah, that is December 10th.
Yep.
Which will be, I guess that's the end. Oh no, that's the week before I go to San Antonio. So that's in the middle of my.
I'm excited to break out some of my cold weather Canes gear.
Oh, I'll show you off air. Because
we'll be in New York in December, so I'm assuming it's going to be frigid.
I mean, it is bad. But
I bought 2 of those thick ass like Canes starter jackets. So layering that over a hoodie, it's gonna look good.
All right then.
Things I don't get to wear very often. I'm excited to break out the cold weather gear. You know what I mean?
No, it's cold here. I'm legitimately wearing a hoodie, not wearing one for show.
It's gonna be frigid in DC too, isn't it? When I come up,
I hope not, because we're gonna be doing a lot of like the monuments and stuff. It's a pain in the ass when it's cold. DC weather fluctuates. We might get some good weather.
Tangent. When me and Vish decided to go to Barclays to see Colorado play the Canes, I decided to come up to his place like a day early, so that we could have all day Saturday just to explore DC. I was like, hey, can we do touristy things? Because I'm kind of a nerd and I want to see some of the museums. So Vish is so kindly appeasing me.
I mean, I never do that stuff. I've never gone to any of those places anyway, even though I've lived here forever, because I'm always getting the hell out of here.
Have a good night, Canes, today. Have a good day at school tomorrow. Our youngest viewer.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Jackson already left. I don't know.
I don't know. There are people watching this, so
Bryce might still be around. Jeff said goodnight. Bill was on here earlier. Not sure if he's still around. I'm kind of shouting out our usuals.
Yep. I mean, you just hit them all. Oh, and I think we got to consider Canes Cats Heat 305 is definitely a don't know his actual name, but he is definitely a regular.
Oh, he is a regular. Yeah, he's been on quite a few. So we appreciate those of you that have stuck around even through our tangent, and maybe even if you're not as into women's basketball and you're giving it a chance.
you're gonna want to, because this team is gonna go play.
The team's really good. Yeah. Definitely follow the women's team, and Coach Meyer is amazing. Has been on the show twice already.
Yeah,
so,
we'll have her back on again too. So
yeah, we'll have a usual pod Wednesday night,
Yep.
7 p.m. We may have a guest.
Or two? Question mark?
Guest or two. The person I'm trying to get has said Wednesday is okay, but I haven't confirmed a time yet, so I don't want to throw the name out there quite yet.
0 to 2 potential guests.
Yeah. Super exciting. If I give like a hint, it's gonna give it away, so I'm not gonna say it, but let's just say you want to watch the show on Wednesday if we have these guests. I mean, you want to watch the show anyway. And if you can't watch the show, you should download the podcast version because Jazz and Vish's ad is hilarious.
Oh God, you heard the I added that.
No, Katie Meyer is not the guest.
It's not Katie Meyer. Katie Meyer, we're going to announce because Katie Meyer said she shows up.
Katie Meyer is a bit busy. It's in season, so don't expect like coaches or like current players to be on the pod in season. That's difficult.
Yeah.
But no, you're gonna want to be here Wednesday night regardless. And if you miss it, download the podcast.
Yes.
If anything, just listen to the advertisements because it's hilarious. You and Jazz are hilarious.
I really hit that Lechon hard. You don't know what we're talking about. Download the podcast.
Is it the food? Is it the food advertisement or something? Or
yes, it is.
Jazz is like promoting it, and then you're like, oh, but what if I have dietary restrictions? And I started dying laughing.
Hey man, they gave we changed the script around to like give it a little Miami flavor, and I put backing music. You like the music? I threw some. We had it. Jazz like could you add some music? And I found some like.
Well, no, it's anyway. Just like, so I usually get my podcast listening in like if I'm at work and I have some downtime or if I'm driving to my mom's. So like last week we had a slow night. And so I was like, oh, let me finally catch like the ACC Media Day interviews because I hadn't had a chance to listen to them.
Oh yeah, you'll get the new ads anyway because it does it live.
So the ads came up and I'm sitting in the office and I'm hysterical laughing. Like I was just and it's more so when you chimed in.
So you never
like
got
the off, and then you chime in. I'm like, what is going on?
So you never heard the rum ads then?
Which one?
You never heard the rum ad then?
No, I haven't heard the rum ad.
Well,
where can I catch that?
You're not going to.
Oh, dang it! Dang.
It's done. I mean, I have it.
You know what we need to do? We need to get like a hoodie brand sponsor.
Yeah, go do that. Expect me to bring in a hoodie brand? I mean, I feel like that's kind of right down.
I mean, I'm wearing Mosh tonight.
Don't see. This is the problem. Who is going to sponsor anything when you're just like, oh yeah, here's free advertising. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about, but you just did it again with that. And they're going to break out your cool ass shoes and be like, look at these.
Well, I got this hoodie out of pure luck.
I know how you got
because
it.
They were actually sold out.
Hold on. You've told this story on the show before. So,
did I?
For those listening, if you want to know, wait, hold on. Here we go. I don't know what episode.
Do you remember what pod it was?
I don't. So, for those that want to hear the story, download every single episode of the Buckets podcast and listen to it. At some point, will talk about
Quick question before we leave, because we have to have a good tangent episode for you to break this up. Do you have a count of how many pods we've actually done so far, like videos? Because I thought about this the other day because the You Heard pod did like their 100th episode. And I was like, I wonder how many we've done.
You mean just for Buckets?
Yeah, just for Buckets.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I can get one.
And would it count from when I started as a host, or it would be the week after you had me as a guest? That would be the first one. I'm gonna go back and count.
I mean, we can do that. I'm wondering, until Coach Meyer named the show, wasn't Buckets.
Oh, should Coach Meyer's first interview count as the first one?
Is that really the first one though? Because it wasn't Buckets.
She named the pod Buckets, and we said we were going to roll with it. We have to include her first visit on the show
that's probably the first one then, because that's what she named.
We'll roll with that as the first.
And
one,
everything after that, yeah. You'll have to.
Isn't it so nice having content to cover now? Like we went through a whole offseason somehow getting 2-hour shows out there. I mean, NBA Grit took up some.
We're never doing that again.
Canes, today I'm glad that you've been following the women's basketball team. hopefully Canes today, convert some more Canes fans and get them to watch the show and download the pod.
Yeah, but just generally, the women's team is very undercovered based on their quality and caliber of program.
And if you've watched our Coach Meyer interview, she's like an amazing freaking human being.
Yeah, and this program's going places. And actually, when they raised the banner, we didn't really mention they raised the Elite 8 banner on Sunday.
Coach Meyer also said in her post game, because they asked her about that banner, and she's like, "Yeah, but we want more. We want one as big as the men's."
Well,
because the men's Final Four banner is massive.
Yeah, I mean it's the Final Four versus the Elite 8,
but still. And you know what was cool about the game yesterday is Tamara James was
she's been commenting on it. She was doing that last year too. It's just like a reunion over there because they get Amy Otterberg sometimes cool. too.
Yeah. I Jack with the silk shirt on the broadcast tonight.
That was
actually shout out to Jack McClinton. I actually really, really enjoy his commentary. Yo, our boy AO. AO, where you been?
You stick around long enough and AO shows up.
Well, it's I think Flo was doing a football coverage earlier. So I think that's probably where he was supporting his brand. I logged into the Sixer and Canes football show for like 2 minutes.
I know you sent me a picture of it, and
yeah, I was like, let me watch while I wait for Matt. So, but everyone, thanks for watching. AO, since you just showed up, go back and watch the actual show. Maybe you
download the podcast. Subscribe to the podcast. What are we doing here?
Subscribe to the podcast. Download the podcast. That way you don't have to see our crazy ass faces. You can just listen to us. And follow us on buckets_Canes. That's now our official Twitter/X account. Vish wants nothing to do with it, but me and Matt will be live tweeting games whenever we can.
This, I heard you all earlier, even though it's on Sixer and Canes, I was producing both shows, so I could hear the sound coming through. All I said is, like, I'm not reliable on that. Like, I'm supposed to, like, be on top of our F1 show account. And no, I'm not. By the way,
background, Vish does double duty because he does the football show for Sixer and Canes. He produces that also. Covers F1. He splits everything up and edits everything into podcasts, downloads the podcast, travels to a lot of the games. So it's not that he has a lot to do. So I joke and say he doesn't want anything to do with it. It's just that he doesn't have the time.
That's not even true. I could switch accounts and use that instead of mine. It's just that, like,
Can I tell you from my phone, I'm tweeting from the Buckets account and then I'm switching into my account and retweeting the Bucket stuff. It's a lot going back and forth.
Yeah, no, I mean, I could do it though. It's not like it's anything like, because I'm tweeting out of my own account at the time. I could just tweet the Buckets account out, but like I told them, I was honest. I'm like, I'm not going to keep up with this. So like, if it's up to me,
if you want to live tweet like the second half of the women's game or post some stuff on the Buckets account during the women's game, that'd be awesome because I'm going to be at work, so I'm not going to be able to do anything, and I don't know if Matt's going to watch.
We will see what happens. Again, I told you all, do not rely on me to keep this account going because that is a failing endeavor. I'll see if I can get on there if I remember to. I still have not logged in. I am protesting the password, so I have not logged in yet, but I will if I have to.
I haven't.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
No, don't say the password. Don't say the password.
Yeah, obviously.
Then I have to change it. No, but like I knew Matt logged in because I got an email saying like, oh, new login from like Fountain View, California or something. I don't know. Fountain Valley? Where's he? I don't even know. Somewhere in California. Yeah. It's like when my brother buys a new device and he logs in my Netflix. I used to get emails saying.
Wait, but they don't let you share the thing anymore, right? It's gonna lock him out or you out.
I'm not sure, but it used to, and so I would get an email saying like, "Oh, new sign in from Woolloomooloo, Australia, is where he used to live."
Maybe that's how you get away with it a little bit. It's because the policies are like domestic.
I'm not sure. He's in London now. I don't know that I've got an email from him, but yeah, but yeah, I can't even say where he used to live. Woolloomooloo, like literally, it's like WOOLOOMOOLOO. I was like, who comes up with these names?
It's probably like Aboriginal or something, right?
Crazy. All right. Well, AO, thanks for showing up fashionably late.
Oh boy.
Ha! Wait, let's see the
Dude.
hoodie. Let's see the hoodie.
I mean, you've seen the green version. This is the orange version.
Oh, that is a nice one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I was in a Miami hoodie earlier and we were losing. So I switched my hoodie and then we came back and won. So I know I'm not wearing a Miami hoodie right now, but this hoodie brought good luck. So, and this hoodie is expensive.
I mean, it felt like an orange day today, so I went orange.
I was wearing maybe it's because I was wearing my Miami football hoodie. Maybe that's why we were doing bad.
Yeah, don't contaminate. Actually, when I get down
there's no Miami basketball hoodies.
well, when I get down to Miami this week, I gotta go by that new store and see if there's any basketball.
Oh yeah, we do. I want to go buy that new
for
store
all my basketball trips. I got a couple of basketball jerseys.
Kane today says his dad changes all of his clothes when Miami's losing at football.
I used to do that. I've given up.
He must have to do a lot of laundry.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've given up, man. I can't. I'm like, we never lose when I wear that. No, that doesn't exist anymore. We've lost in every outfit I have, so I just roll with it. But I do want some basketball merch for my trips. So
I need to go get my shorts.
You do need to get your shorts. Coach Myers holding them for you.
I know, right? That's so exciting.
Did you see the Elite Eight shirts they gave out? I'm so pissed.
Coach the poster?
No, they give out shirts. They give out merch.
What? They give out merch?
They had that little reception for season ticket holders before the game, and you know what? I would have paid somebody $100 for season tickets. I would have just paid for it if they gave me the T-shirt.
We could have split them. I would have gotten
No,
I would have
paid $100 for that T-shirt.
I want that Final Four towel. My boy Greg says he has an extra for me. So shout out to Greg. Greg's also the one that got Jack on the show.
See, I used to do this, AO. I used to I know exactly what I'm wearing if things are going bad. We'd also change positions in the stands, not switch seats with me. This isn't work. I've given up.
Listen, Vish is so superstitious. So the first few tournament games that Miami played in last year were in cold weather. Vish shows up to Houston in the 100-degree heat wearing jeans and a sweater because he's I have to wear the same clothes because we've been winning in it. Dude must have been sweating balls. We were sitting outside eating barbecue. I'm like, that can't be comfortable.
That is the official. The official Twitter is me in long sleeve clothing. But that was actually a dry fit, so it wasn't that hot.
Hoodie, I'm dropping your recruiting ranking for not getting the Cav back to Miami. AO, she wouldn't be playing.
We didn't talk about that. She's not good enough to play on this team anymore.
Yeah, she wouldn't be playing. We have more guards than Shawshank on the women's team as well.
Yeah, there's no chance you play her in front of Jalea, Lamaya, Cheyenne,
Jada,
no chance.
Lamaya.
Yeah,
Lamaya.
Yeah. I said Lamaya, damn it.
I know. I'm just saying it 20 times because she's been bawling.
Yeah. No. And that's why again, I'll just flatly say we're the only show. Some outlets cover men's, no one covers women's.
No one covers women's.
When she entered the portal and there were, I would say, clickbait sites going oh, she could technically come back to Miami. We were from the beginning. There's no chance she's not good enough to play on this team, and Coach Meyer wouldn't take her back. And
yeah, I think all of the transfers we brought in would likely play before her.
They played before her, and also they did a big trip to Europe to bond because there's a lot of new players in this team, and they built some team chemistry. You can't just bring back an old player that skipped the whole offseason because they wanted to go do wrestling. I'm sorry, that's not gonna work. I mean, you got people like Latasha rehabbing her torn knee ligaments and working hard to get back on the court and just gonna shove this person back in. No chance. That was never gonna happen. So even though again, oh yeah, she could go back to Miami was a technicality. It was never gonna happen.
Nope.
And actually, full disclosure, I did hear a rumor that she was going to TCU a month ago. I don't know how to
say that.
I don't know how
in our private chat.
I don't know how to report things or how to run down sources. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah, so he said it a while ago.
I just told Matt and Melissa, I hear she's going to TCU.
It's Kane's today. It's not a former player that's coming on our show on Wednesday.
No.
I wish it was Shane Larkin. That'd be amazing. But no, we've got, assuming it's confirmed, we've got at least one, maybe two really good people coming on the show.
Either way, we will look ahead at the Georgia game. I haven't really had a chance to look into them too much, but we will by Wednesday. And then Providence, K-State are two tournament teams last year, so the men have two huge games coming up. So
yep. and we can talk a little women's basketball as well.
Yeah, they got Southern on
yeah.
Friday at 5 p.m. That time is annoying me still.
Man, I'm so annoyed. Working Friday, literally missing 2 games.
And football, right? Oh no, football's the next week. I'm like so out of space.
No, we play Louisville
Saturday.
But because I worked the night before, getting to a new game is impossible. So I'm just gonna watch it at home, unfortunately.
Well, if you change your mind, I'll scoop your ass up on the way in.
Nah, it's
we're
hard.
We're definitely not.
I've been. Have we had any new games this year? No.
That's why I'm so annoyed. It's like really the senior day. You decide to do it.
I've been fortunate enough where we haven't had any noon games, and I've been able to make pretty much every single home game. I didn't go to Bethune-Cookman just because it was Bethune-Cookman. But I have a 3-1 record in football games this year, so a lot better than last year.
You do not have a 3-1 record in football games.
No, I have a 3-2 record in football games.
So you've been sitting next to me for 2 losses at least.
So. I forgot about Georgia Tech. I have a 3-2 record at football games. I watched us beat Miami, Ohio. I watched us beat A&M, and I watched us beat Clemson. I watched us really actually beat Georgia Tech, even though it says an L. And I flew to UNC and watched us lose to UNC. Both of those losses, I was sitting next to Vish. Yeah. AO. Louisville is noon. I think that's 11 a.m. for you in Iowa. I think that's Central Time.
0-5. Stick with it, man. Eventually, I'll turn around.
What's my road record now? 1-6.
Yeah, I don't know. I picked up another L on the side there too. So well 2 weeks ago. So
AO is 1-0. He's undefeated. He came down for his first Miami game and watched us beat Clemson. I got him right up top over here. My boy AO. I'm super excited to meet him in person.
Wait, was this at the tailgate?
I quickly ran over to the Flow tailgate just to go.
Okay, I was about to say, dude, I was next. I was standing like in the car next, like we were right next to it.
Well, no, I purposely was like, at some point, I need to go find the Flow tailgate. So I literally just left Chris and his wife at my tailgate, and me and Coop quickly ran over to the Flow tailgate. I said hello to Flo and all the guys, but I mainly wanted to meet my boy AO because that's my dude.
Thanks for the invite, Melissa. It's like I was standing right next to you.
You know what? I felt bad. It was like you guys grilled all these extra like cheeseburgers and stuff. And
you guys said they would eat it, and like no one fucking ate them.
And then Chris and them were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna eat it," and then they never ate it.
Someone ate like one of them. Someone came and was like, "Can I have?" I was like, "Please eat this food."
Kane's today. I was supposed to go to the Miami-Alabama game, and I canceled my trip like the week before. I ended up getting a flight credit, but my hotel was refundable, and we ended up selling our tickets. We only lost like $20 on the tickets. I'm so glad I did that.
The worst.
That's actually supposed to go.
The worst road thing I did. Let me see. From a margin standpoint.
Hey, don't side with Vish, otherwise you won't be my favorite Flow YouTuber anymore.
Wow, you're just selling out the rest of the channel even after Lex tried to kill us. You have that kind of confidence. I think actually
Ayo's my boy.
I think I went to that first, not the LSU in Dallas, although I went to that too. The 40-3 LSU bowl game where they fired all the staff like the day after.
You went to that?
I was at that. That's probably the worst road game.
I remember watching the Miami Florida bowl game with Brock Berlin at my high school friend's house because that was my freshman year. So I was at we were all home for winter break, and all of my friends in high school went to Florida. So I'm watching that game with like 6 Florida students. And I remember just sitting there just trying to hold in all the excitement.
Yeah, Melissa nowadays would be like talking shit in their face, but
yeah, so I didn't know that was going to be my one bright shining moment as a student at Miami.
I think that LSU bowl game I think is probably the worst road game. I mean, I've been to some bad ones.
The ACC championship game.
Was that worse? Probably not, just because like Clemson is Clemson, and we weren't that like we had lost to Pitt. We kind of knew what we were, and now the LSU game we were like it was 2 top 10 teams. We're like people are like Miami's gonna win this game. They're Miami. and just getting stomped in. And like, I was like, that was when we first were like, we have a problem here. Like, we're not good.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
This show went for an hour and 40 minutes, about
I'm
40 minutes
actually-
longer than I thought it would.
Yeah, I gotta do some editing now.
But this was such a fun show because it was like me and Matt, and then me, Matt, and Vish, and then Matt had to go. So it's just like little like it's
Should
like
I
we
call
gotta get Matt
Matt
back
in
on here, and
and
I
then
leave, so we can
throw you out?
all have the duo.
I mean, I can throw you out if it makes you feel better, and then I may do an AI version of Matt sitting over here.
Kane's today's dad is a Patriots fan and a Canes fan, but I'm getting him into a winning basketball team. Okay. So I'm sorry he's a Patriots fan. That's terrible. Yo, our Cowboys got the dub.
I mean,
I know it was the Giants, but it's still the dub. I take it.
I know,
And listen, any year you can sweep the Giants, take it.
Yeah, no, I was at the Ravens game, and then I was just like looking at the score in the parking lot when we were sitting there in traffic, getting out of there, and I'm like, oh well, this game's over. Like,
All right.
pretty much it.
Again, follow us on the Buckets X Twitter account at Buckets_Canes. We will follow you back. Not to steal that from Locked On Canes, but I have been following everybody back. We're almost at 100 followers, and we should have a lot more because I have like between me and you, we have like 4,000 followers on our Twitter accounts, and I'm retweeting everything. So follow us. Ayo, retweet one of the Buckets tweets and get us.
I'm pretty sure
get us,
between the
over
two of us, we have way more than 4,000 followers. But
I only have like 2.2 thousand followers. I don't know how many you have.
I have like 3.5 or something. I don't know.
Oh,
It fluctuates.
so,
Some of them are
excuse
probably
me.
bots.
But yes,
no, I mean
Buckets
I have
_Canes.
3,200. Yeah, we got 6
Follow us on
together.
Twitter or on X. Especially, it'll be fun to be on Twitter when there's actually games going on because hopefully there will be somebody on the account live tweeting stuff. At least if I'm off work, I will be. And I'll interact with you. I was talking to a bunch of people throughout the game on both the Buckets account and my Twitter, so it was a lot of fun, even though we almost lost. So please follow us. Get all of your
I do
events,
wonder.
breakdown.
I do wonder. Is that going to hold up when it's like a high pressure? Are you going to really be multitasking during like the Duke game?
Well, what will happen is it just won't get retweeted on my Twitter until later. Like I can't go back and forth retweeting everything. I'll just be on the Buckets account, and then later on I can go retweet some.
I feel like when it's a high
bigger
stakes
ones.
game, I just end up like not even really hardly online. I'm just like I'm watching the game and like freaking out and.
No, I was just standing in my living room with the hood up, going like this and watching the TV.
I don't feel like we
anyway.
ever thought we were going to lose to FIU, but like if it's like ACC tournament championship game, we're playing Duke. There's 5 minutes left in the tie game. I don't know that my fingers really would work.
Well, no, I tweet out of frustration or out of excitement, so likely it helps me get through the game if I'm tweeting things.
I've had my hands
instead of just
start like
cussing at a
shaking
TV.
because I'm so nervous that I just.
So.
Like I said, don't
Well, you know
count
my
on me.
Elite 8 story from last year, so.
Yes, I
but
do.
anyway, let's go. I'm hungry, so I want to go eat something, and I need a refill. So, Buckets_Canes. Follow us and cue the Sox outro. Don't cry.
We getting buckets.
Keep it chill.
Yeah, baby.
Wear good socks.
Buckets.